A former gang member who became a beloved community leader and peacemaker is dead, killed in a shooting near his home Wednesday morning. Haley Winslow has the latest from South LA.
Now, I get a lot of comments from people that object to me saying that this stuff doesn't work. I mean, I want to think the brothers are doing good. I believe that they can believe that they're doing good. I want to believe that they think that they're making a dent or, you know, they're putting one in the win column for the good guys. I want to believe that. But even if I do some mental gymnastics to believe that, I still can't overlook the fact, the overwhelming evidence that this stuff doesn't work. This ex-gang member coming back to the hood. Yeah, man, I was the man back in the day, had all the money and all the girls and everybody on the street respected me. But you, little kid from the projects, don't do what I did. Go to school. Read books. Study long hours. And one day, at the end of the rainbow, there'll be a pot of gold for you. It doesn't work. And furthermore, it puts these guys in harm's way. Jeopardy. Because if you're no longer a gang member and you have the means, you need to leave the neighborhood. Okay? There's a whole new crop of young gangsters out here now that enjoy killing. They're not killing for drug money. They're not killing for turf wars over blocks. You know, this block ain't worth $50,000 a night. That block ain't worth $10,000 a night. They're not killing over that. They just enjoy killing. Like the chief of police in D.C. said, like the task force, the carjacking task force leader in Chicago said. They enjoy killing. They enjoy robbing people. They enjoy causing heartache and pain to families. They enjoy it. So if this guy was an ex-gang member, he survived the gang and he had a chance to get out, easy to say, hindsight, 2020, but he most likely should have done the prudent thing and just left the hood and never turned back for his sake.
A former gang member who became a beloved community leader and peacemaker is dead, killed in a shooting near his home Wednesday morning. Haley Winslow has the latest from South LA.
And he would help any kids. You can't find many people do that these days.
Everyone in the South LA community seemed to know him, and they all said the same thing. Craig Batiste couldn't have been a better person. Called big for the size of his heart, the 54-year-old was having a cup of coffee with his neighbor near 111th and Hobart at about 8:30 Wednesday morning. Investigators say someone in a dark sedan opened fire. Big tried to run but was trapped by this fence. Neighbors call the former gang member the peacemaker.
Okay, so this brother was gunned down. It was a targeted hit. This doesn't seem like a stray bullet, an accident. It appears to be targeted. If he was trapped and the guys saw him run, they know, okay, that ain't the op, or that is the op. Now, I know these guys don't care, but it seemed like he was hunted down and, executed. Now, it's dicey when you're playing this, I'm going to get involved in street beefs. I'm going to talk to this side, and then I'll talk to that side, and then I'll get this side's view, and I'll go back to that side. All right, y'all, they said they're not going to shoot at y'all no more. All right, y'all, they said, and listen, that gets very messy really quick, in any era. The 80s, the 90s, whatever, the 70s, the 50s, the 60s, that can get messy. Now, I don't know if that's what caused his death, but I do know that if this brother was in the middle, even if he wasn't a gang member, if he was, a peacemaker, he was in the middle of stuff. Okay? And when you're in the middle of stuff, like Prodigy say the wrong words, man, and you will get touched. You all alone in these streets, cousin. Every man for himself in this land we be gunning. Okay? You all up in the game and don't deserve to be a player. Don't make me have to call your name out. So, you have to understand that when you're a peacemaker in these violent neighborhoods, these people are not reasoned, rational people that you're dealing with. You're dealing with street guys. You're not dealing with, the debate team at Howard University, You're dealing with street guys. All right? So, things can get really, 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 really messy, man. I'm hoping this brother, while he was here, he was able to make somewhat of a difference, even though I don't think this stuff works. Hope while he was here, he was able to make some kind of difference.
And he would help any kids. You can't find many people do that these days.
Everyone in the South LA community seemed to know him, and they all said the same thing. Craig Batiste couldn't have been a better person. Called big for the size of his heart, the 54-year-old was having a cup of coffee with his neighbor near 111th and Hobart at about 8:30 Wednesday morning. Investigators say someone in a dark sedan opened fire. Big tried to run but was trapped by this fence. Neighbors call the former gang member the peacemaker. Big turned his life around more than 20 years ago and spent it doing everything for everyone else. He had 4 kids, but was a father to everybody, walking troubled kids to and from school safely and helping them get their lives back on track.
He gonna feed you, gonna make sure you got something to eat, backpacks for sure for the kids, security for the kids throughout the whole community, not just one. And then he just got a proposal for 31 schools for security.
I don't care what you needed, he can get it for you. As far as somewhere to live, food, clothing. He was a gang activist and all that stuff, trying to get the neighborhood together.
And not to pick on his sister, but if this brother was all of that, which he says, and I believe him because, I know some guys like this. They do a lot more than just, mediate beefs. They can keep somebody's lights on. The lady got 8 kids. Kids ain't ate all day. He come with a bucket of KFC chicken, or a box of diapers. I mean, they're constantly, helping people. And I believe this woman, what she says about this brother. I 1000% believe her. It's just interesting how, and this may be the power of the media. This sister's not crying. She's not marching. She's not protesting. She's not incensed. She's not demanding answers like she would if a guy in another city, far, far away from LA, was killed by a cop or died in police custody. It's just the oddest thing. This brother did all that. Where is this and not this one. Oh, y'all killed the wrong one. Like, none of that. And a lot of that is because they're of fear. They don't want to get involved in this messy stuff. But they'll say they're afraid of the police. They'll say they're afraid of the police. They'll say they're scared of the police. But they'll go down to the police station, throw bricks through the windows, set it on fire, yell at them all night, knowing the police ain't going to do nothing. And those of us wise enough know that they're not scared of the police. They're scared of the thugs. These people have zero fear of the police.
I don't care what you needed. He can get it for you. As far as somewhere to live, food, clothing. You know, he was a gang activist and all that stuff, trying to get the neighborhood together.
Shadrika Jones had been close to him for more than 30 years.
We done lost so many people. I'm on 112, from my other cousin to his daughter-in-law, his ex-daughter-in-law, another son, a family friend, just all on one street, and it makes no sense.
Well, Shadrika, it makes a lot of sense. If there's gangs right there, and the gangs are unchecked, and if one of the gang members gets punched by a cop, you'll riot. It makes a lot of sense that all this death and destruction is happening. Also, I think Shadrika unwittingly agrees with everything I say. Listen to her and tell me that Shadrika does not agree with everything I say in my videos. Listen critically. Now, this is where you got to put your thinking cap on, some people. Put your thinking cap on. Think about my videos and listen to what Shadrika says.
We done lost so many people. I'm on 112, from my other cousin to his daughter-in-law, his ex-daughter-in-law, another son, a family friend, just all on one street, and it makes no sense.
Why would these people want to hurt him then?
I have no idea. I have no idea. It's really heartbreaking. They don't understand what they just did to a whole community. Basically, half of Los Angeles is going to miss Mr. Big. You're going to miss him. It's kids missing him today. It's kids missing him who can't go to school today. It's kids that won't eat today because of him.
Investigators and friends aren't sure if Big was targeted, killed by the very violence he worked so hard to prevent.
He was like a president, if you want to say. I mean, when his burial funeral comes, whatever, it's going to be, it's not going to be good. It's going to be so sad.
Neighbors heard about 15 gunshots. A few of them hit this house next door. You can see the bullet holes in the wall. This is actually a little kid's bedroom, and they were home at the time, but thankfully, they weren't hurt.
The bullet struck right where some little kid's bedroom. It wouldn't have been the stand if the thugs didn't at least almost kill some kids. Okay? And they talked a lot about how he provided security for kids to go to school. Why would kids need security to go to school? The KKK? Klan? Proud Boys? Why would little kids need security to go to school? Oh, gangs. Gang turf. Maybe the route to school goes through another gang territory. And he's providing security. And he just got a contract with 31 schools to provide security for these kids. No conspiracy, no Illuminati, none of that crap. Just that. See, oftentimes, some people make everything a big conspiracy when the answer is very simple. So he was providing security, helping kids get to school through gang-infested, violence-riddled neighborhoods. And maybe in the course of doing that, yeah, you got to crack some heads. You got to tell some people, put some people in place. It's not an easy job. You're dealing with son gangs. Emotional, out of control, quick-triggered. Not dealing with the mafia where, you got to talk to one guy. And you talk to one guy and what he says is what it is, and everybody else falls in line. Or you in a Hombrito neighborhood where you talk to one guy, hey, we'd like to, make it safe for these kids to walk through here. Yes or no? You can say no, say yes. I mean, but when you're dealing with the Sun community, and it looks like there's a lot of Latino kids around here, so it looks like it could be some, situation with that going on. But when you're dealing with these communities where there's no shot callers, there's no top of the top, nobody to talk to, everybody, it's all for self. Even though these are gangs, there's no leader. Everybody does whatever they want to do. But every kid I've seen in this video was in Hombrito. So this is a neighborhood in transition, like many in LA, where LA is only 9% Sun people now. 9%. LA. So LA being 9% Sun people, their neighborhoods being taken over by Hombritos, that may have something to do with it. But whatever happened, R.I.P. to this brother. While he was here, he was trying to do something.
Investigators and friends aren't sure if Big was targeted, killed by the very violence he worked so hard to prevent.
He was like a president, if you want to say. I mean, when his burial funeral comes, whatever, it's going to be, it's not going to be good. It's going to be so sad.
Neighbors heard about 15 gunshots. A few of them hit this house next door. You can see the bullet holes in the wall. This is actually a little kid's bedroom, and they were home at the time, but thankfully, they weren't hurt. Reporting in South LA, I'm Haley Winslow, Fox 11 News.